Up and running. Interview squad in the building.
Well,
Yeah,
welcome everyone. Welcome everyone.
yeah. Big up everybody who take the time out to view and comment. And today we are encouraging persons to just leave a comment, ask questions, be involved. Now it's a good thing. Well, daytime interview with London. It's not a bad look.
Not a bad look.
Not a bad look at all. Um, we have other members from the interview team supposed to join us, Omar Barnes and Anthony White. So we soon get them on stream and we discuss
All right.
basketball. This is Anthony White joining us. Anthony White, how are you?
I'm good, sir. I'm good. I'm good. Just make
Okay,
it home in time to be on this program.
not a problem. The good thing with technology, don't need a lot of time, just need to just click and we are live.
So,
Streaming.
Gary, who are we talking to today?
All right, today we have.
Guys, I'm outside. I'm outside in my yard. So that's the scenery you guys seeing right now. This is the big mango tree behind me. So
Okay.
you probably hear some noise because the kids are flying their kite currently on the street. So you know that
Okay.
we haven't seen that in a long time. So
Okay. Yeah, man. Yeah, and that's what I want to be as real as possible in Jamaica and outside cool breeze tropical country. So we're just here, meeting, greeting from different areas. All right. Today on the show we have two guests, and the first one will be Douglas Reid. Mr. Douglas Reid, he is the Southern Conference coordinator for ISSA basketball. Persons are watching might wonder what is ISSA basketball. That's basketball for mainly high school students that will be ranging from under 14, under 16, under 19. It's a privilege to have him with us today. We believe strongly that he is someone voice that needs to be heard more than likely because he is with the youths and the youths are the future. So having Mr. Reid on set with us, giving us his feedback on basketball in Jamaica is a good thing. I'm looking forward for this and to this interview. What do you think, Mr. Wells?
Yeah, man. I've heard him being vocal a lot of times when I'm at the games and at meetings and stuff like that. So I want to hear him input, his thoughts and concerns. So we're going to bring him in now and ask him some questions.
Yeah, so here's welcome, Mr. Douglas Reid.
Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for that enthusiastic welcome.
Yes,
thanks for having me.
Most definitely. The youths are our future, and everybody will see that in any field that we're talking about. Basketball, definitely. The youths are the future. What are your views on that statement?
Broad subject, yes. We need to start basketball earlier, sports earlier, a lot of things earlier.
A lot of things earlier. We can talk about the business of basketball, introducing that into high schools. I heard you mention virtual training for our table officials. Yes.
I'm definite, should be organized. But I think in these uncertain times, I know I've been feeling a little bit kind of laid back, uncertain. So it's kind of taking the enthusiasm out of current action. But those are some of the things you could discuss.
Yeah, for definitely. I know that for the pandemic, a lot of persons are embracing it. So you realize that relaxed mode is not only with basketball; it's across the world, right? But we must. The reason.
I had my.
Let me hear. You have your own experience.
Oh, I've had my first COVID-related injury.
Oh,
right. I was in a pharmacy a few days back, and by roving around, my first day inside of a store, and waiting on my prescription to be filled, and I saw these busman johns. I don't know what at my age I go fool on busman job, but my pawn up 10 of them. Not big man, right? Pawn up 10 of the busman job.
Oh,
The evidence is right there, like,
oh my
just
gosh.
wear them, just pluck out one of my front teeth, boy, just as neatly as you please. So I'm warning people, be on the
Yeah.
lookout for busman jaws. They're making them
Oh,
tougher than normal.
Oh,
okay,
Keep
okay,
that eye open.
I've stayed away from those things for a long time, you know. So
I don't know what got into me, boy. But anyway,
okay. Mr. Douglas, first question I
mhm.
want to ask you. I know that you're the Southern Conference coordinator. What are the positive that you have observed since you have been placed in this position to assist Jamaica basketball? We just wanted to talk on those positive things that you have already highlighted.
One of the things I've seen take come to pass in the last 2 seasons, this season especially, has been the cutting down on courts that would really abuse kids if they fell on them. All right, they're
Wow.
so rough. Parents are then yam off the shoes every day, but they are those have been shut down, and that is a very very good thing, right?
Okay.
So now, but I
Infrastructure.
feel for even as I say that, I feel for the schools who must now go and find the dollars to fix their courts. Many schools in the corporate area can do so. Some of the traditional schools are capable. Some of the schools that are not as well funded and are borderline are going to have trouble. Um, and that's an issue that needs to be addressed. SDF could brought to bring their resources to bear, but there's a lot of people depending on SDF. So um, can I go into what I think might be a potential way of going
Yes,
about
most
this?
definitely. Yes, we're here for your advice, So the viewers are listening and tuning in. So let us hear your input.
I think we're leaving a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of knowledge by the wayside by not inviting people in for their ideas. And I got to say at the outset, I think you guys have been doing an excellent job of making Jamaica aware of the sport and our diaspora cousins. I remember last year turning to you, Gary, to
Yes.
help me help me
The All Star.
advertise the
Yes, and
yes,
promotion.
the All Star game, and you came in and gave us free labor, and the place was stacked. The stadium, the arena was stacked for that final under 16 under 19 game last year, and I thought that
Yes.
was fantastic. We need that kind of marketing going on for every school to bring eyes to the sport so that when they go out and stick out their hand, people say, "Oh yeah, I'm familiar with you. I know what you're doing. You are committed to what you're doing. I see it." And that comes from, I think, we start by introducing our kids to the careers in sports, from coaching to marketing, table officiating, refereeing, and ask them to participate in a meaningful way. Um,
Yeah.
my experience while coaching Herbert Morrison, I asked
Okay.
one of the local cameramen down there that worked for CV CVM. Was it CVM or
No, I think CVM is yes, CVM.
no, no, no.
CVM.
He was an independent in any case. And Granty
Okay.
came down and held a class for 10 of my students, random students at the school. I wound up with 2 years worth of effort. A kid that did all our games, filmed all our games, right? Um, and that was a boon. That was a boon to the program, and I think that could be reprised in all
Okay.
the schools, right?
Okay.
Bring eyes to the game inside their schools. Uh, Add a leaderboard so that their kids. And I'm rapping. Let me stop there and
Okay.
let you guys get over it.
Okay. All right. Douglas, you mentioned, as the viewers might be listening, or persons just tuning, you mentioned the importance of infrastructure, promotion, entertainment, to drive fans to the games and more involvement from other stakeholders. My question to you, even though we are going through this pandemic, I don't view this pandemic as we're in a situation that everything should put on hold. I think it's a time for us to reflect and revamp if we have to revamp certain things. It's the best time now to put pen to paper and get things out. My question is there any virtual skills training coming from Jamaica, from the high school level, going to these kids who are at home who might not be engaged in anything at all now regarding sports?
No, there isn't.
There isn't.
There isn't
Will
at the
you
moment.
encourage coaches to do sessions like this, get it out to their players?
Okay. I answered no to skill training for table officials. There are coaches, I'm sure, who are technologically savvy, who are in touch with their players and passing on videos of training videos that their kids could be. I never even I know of one coach that is dealing with his students one on one.
You can call his
Right?
name because we like to promote positive things. So,
I think Dwayne Cunningham at JC
okay,
is involved
oh,
in some one-on-one training.
big up
I do not
Dwayne.
know. Yeah, yeah. I have not talked to the other coaches
Yes.
to find out whether they're doing that as well. But that's going on. The training of table officials, which
Yes.
could be ongoing, hasn't is not happening. Um,
You're not encouraging it, or you see flaws in that
no, I think it could
department.
work. I think it could work, and should be working, right? But
Yes.
in the absence of a budget, in the absence of ISSA taking the lead, um, you kind of I would take the lead, but I'm technologically challenged. You know, I turn
Oh,
on my
yes.
phone. I turn on my
Yes.
phone. What you guys are
Yes.
doing, I would love to be doing that. Okay,
Okay.
and I tip my cap. But hello,
Douglas,
YouTube, WhatsApp, yeah,
Yes.
Douglas,
yeah, man.
we know that you're the sports coordinator, but for people that don't know, what does a sports coordinator do?
We help with the fixtures. We make sure that games happen on time, that the coaches have their paperwork. We try and make it as easy as possible for the schools to meet their fixtures, and we try and anticipate problems, right, and get them solved before they impinge on the game. We report back to ISSA on what is taking place um, during the course of the competitions, and we
Yeah.
try not to um, change games,
Oh,
reschedule games, but it happens, and we try to make it as smooth as possible. And then when games have to be rescheduled, we find a place to slot them in so that they're not a hardship on the school.
all right. Douglas, I don't want you're here and you're making some valid some points that I think is very important. My question to you, you mentioned I want to go back to your concern, which is the infrastructure. What would you say if have you been in dialogue with the coaches and principals to see whether or not some of these auditoriums could be used for a basketball court where a calendar can be placed and we in regards to basketball, me and you, both of us know that sometimes due to the fact that it's outside game, depending on the series, we're in a tropical country, rain, other things influence whether or not the game play yes or no. No. But if we could get the principals and the coaches to buy into getting these auditoriums as basketball courts, wouldn't that be a lot easier? And would you encourage that decision?
Yes, I would. Without any doubt, I would. Any school that could afford to have an indoor court, the very first school that has an indoor court is going to be a boon to basketball in the corporate area. One of the problems right now is when you're hunting for places to stage the playoffs and the finals especially, you're having a hard time. The arena, awfully expensive. GC Foster, adequate, but not really designed for fans and is just outside the range of most kids and to go and visit as a casual. Oh yeah, basketball games on. I'm going to GC Foster. No, they're reluctant. So any school. I chatted with the principal in I'm not really allowed to talk to principals, but I had an off the record conversation with a principal in not far off Holy Childhood. She was very encouraging, liked the idea, but was depending on Sports Development Foundation for the funding.
Okay.
And you know that
Douglas.
SDF is overwhelmed with requests for that kind of thing, for just fixing courts. Never mind building an indoor facility, right? But it would be great location. St. Andrews for girls would be another great location, right? Just to name a few.
Yes, yes.
Let me add one thing.
Sir
Really out of
Douglas.
the box, because that is yeah, man. Let me add this. No, out of the no, just before we move from this topic. And this is outrageous thinking by some, but I think it makes a lot of sense. If we're investing in schools and we consider sports, not just basketball, but sports, all the non-traditional sports, to be important and can lead them to good quality lives, and creates an environment, a sporting industry for the schools, we could ask the NHT to fund some of these developments inside the schools
Very good.
and treat them as a payback, not just as a handout money like SDF grants, but create the loan. The schools that can afford to set up a loan and pay it back from the proceeds of the school of the arena.
School.
Right? That's above my pay grade, but I throw it out there for
It's
consideration.
good advice, and I hope the right ears will listen, and this will reach those ears, and they can hear.
Yeah, like
Barnes, you have something to ask?
Yeah.
Yes, Douglas, Sir Douglas. There's a follow-up question on the strategy and stuff. I watched few games this season, and teams are like complaining, like, yo, them are rob them are this. But I was saying, if ISSA can get neutral persons, train neutral persons, and designate them to games, that would be a good idea than having a person, say, a home team, and the home team, they want probably, squeeze in some for a team because they want to win. So I think that'd be a good idea.
I think that's an excellent idea, Mr. Barnes, especially when it comes down to the finals, the playoffs.
Deciding
you
games.
could have deciding games, especially. I think you could have independent table officials, so that they're not on. There's a kids after all, and many they're fans. They're fans first, and many of them think they're fans first. Just happen to have a great seat at the table officials table, and they get carried away from time to time, which kind of, when your team scores and you're the statistician, you go, yeah, the next coach, the visiting coach, is not going to trust your figures when he asks you how many fouls on your player. He's going to be prone to thinking, not healthy thoughts about you. So having independent people might not be a bad idea at all.
All right, Mr. Douglas. My question. We are talking about stats. Is there a database set up online where these players can view their stats, or even mention to family members overseas to say, type in my name in this database and you will see that my stats, or the stats is just the sole purpose of record giving stats for the current day, and after that CEO stats will basically just demolish and throw away or whatsoever. What is the the practice going forward regarding collecting these stats?
They're being wasted in terms of kids getting access to them, in terms of schools getting access to them. They're really going to waste. Their main purpose right now is to determine who your top scorers, your top performers are. You know, your 3-point shooters, your rebounders, etc. Steals, assists, and so on. Once those are established and the awards are handed out, they just languish.
Before Barnes, your question, that really kind of hurt me a lot because we were talking about this yesterday, Barnes, about stats, and it's like whatever we've done in the past is just basically there's no proof, there's no evidence to say that Barnes was a good player according to his stats back then. We are throwing this out to you, Douglas, as a coordinator, and I know a lot of persons who are very good at technology. We have Mr. Wells here. We have other persons around the basketball committee.
Yeah,
we can approach and make this reality, as in that starting as early as the next season, those stats will be uploaded to a site where persons can view it. I will start from here because we have to start from somewhere. So I think you can throw it out and see whether or not they're interested in getting these guys on board to deal with the data for you.
A database, having a database from primary school level. Before we have a question from one of the viewers. I would like to post it and have Mr. Douglas have
probably Douglas.
Yes, Douglas.
The Mr. Reid sounds awful for me.
Yes.
Our feelings really don't. The question is, when do you guys feel we will get back to competitive basketball? Our feelings really don't have anything to do with it, you know. The question is, when will parents feel comfortable allowing their kids to be cheek and jowl with the next fellow and not worry about having their kids come home and pass on the virus to grandma and grandpa at home? All right. While most of us, I think by now, think that the youngest, the young and the fit among us can get the virus and you know, have some lingering issues for a while, but we'll get over it and move on with life. That's not the case for older parents, older grandparents at home who might be struggling with some preconditions. Right?
Okay.
So those things have to be taken into consideration.
Okay.
Right?
We have another question here from Cecile Palmer. I don't know, why not get professional statisticians to do the siding and finals?
There are so few. There are so few professional statisticians. I can think of 1, 2, 3, 4,
Anita
5,
Brown,
6,
aka Nene.
A.K. Nene, Keisha, Lindsay, Chantal, the Clark sisters, Tony Ann and Tamoy. There's very few, and it's a limited club. If you were to have, I've always felt that we underestimate the value of the table officials, starting with what they could be, how useful they could be to their programs. The first thing is they could help put together the team and register the team, or help the teacher register the team, so that we don't have this I don't have time, and it gets done, right? And they have an interest in getting it done. But let me step back a little bit. We need to recruit youngsters who have not just the basketball interest, but the ability to focus for the length of a game on what they're doing once they're trained. Now, we need to train them early, starting when they're into high school for the first time. Capture them, go and recruit them, identify what is the best fit for the game, and then recruit them and bring them into the game.
Okay, good.
And then you can begin to talk about And then you can talk about getting quality stats out of these youngsters. Then you can talk about graduating statisticians who move on to help your D1 team, your NBL team, right? Because what's it costing you now
Yeah,
per game,
for real.
right? And help with
Sir
the
Douglas.
organization. They will have some organizational skills to bring to those clubs,
Okay.
right?
Barnes, you have a
Sir
question?
Douglas.
Yeah,
I
man.
want to know if ISSA and Jaba, if you guys team up and like communicate with come on to
Is the
because I
relationship
think
good?
Jaba with players them. No, Java need to know them, ISSA need to know them. Yeah. Going to correspond in any way of sending players information to back and forth?
No. Really,
Yeah.
talking about technical skills. I don't think the schools, they have the skills, but they haven't sussed it out. They haven't gone and recruited it and say, this is what we want to do. We want to establish that the kid goes to school here. If he was the top rebounder, his name should be up there. If he was the top scorer, a leaderboard, as it were, for every school. All right, and we need to. I have peddled that idea to the coaches, but many think, oh man, that's more work. No, somebody inside. We have to. I don't know if it's making it a demand, a request that you have to have a leaderboard if you participate in ISSA sports. This is part of the development that we could ask ISSA to do, right? Make it not just a request, but it's a requirement.
Okay.
If you're going to participate, you need to have a leaderboard.
We have
so
some
that
more
these
questions. So
Yeah.
we have someone that posted, Brian Grant. You speak about recruitment. What incentives will be offered in exchange for being recruited? I think that's probably one of the problems we have. We don't have the money, and people are not motivated if they don't have the money. I don't know. What do you think about that, Douglas?
Awards sweetens labor, no sir?
That's the fact.
We don't have the money. We don't have the money, but rewards are not always about money. All right. If we get properly organized, we could. Many of these kids, they like doing what they do. They love participating and they love being important to be contributing. All right. Don't make no mistakes. Kids enjoy being able to contribute, and they like to be recognized for it. So if you had a way of identifying the top table officials during the season, and you say you guys will do the playoffs, and the top table officials, you guys get to do the finals, right? You can't, of course, do your own school. That's one way of rewarding them, by recognition. The other way is those that are college bound. The schools could take a look at making. They have to do some community work, get community hours towards getting into college. All right, they could be given the hours towards that kind of thing. All right.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Until we convince our people to start paying for sports. If they want good quality sports, they want excellent coaching, they want dedicated coaching throughout the year that will open their gyms during the summer and feel nothing about inviting primary school kids onto their court and working with them, until our fans start to pay for sports at some level. You're not going to be able to touch everybody that actually works in sports.
Okay.
So you have to find more creative ways.
Gary.
Yes.
Yeah. I follow up. I follow up to. I think
I'm having trouble hearing you.
As players we as fans.
Yes.
Yeah, we are fans. They need to know that it's Bill want to build basketball back in Jamaica. So right now we're short of funding, but some volunteer work is very needed in basketball in Jamaica. A lot of it. So with them need to stop. Look up. We know people want money and want incentives of stuff, but need to basketball. Need to think about the future of Jamaica. We're not thinking about now.
The future. All right.
Yeah,
I think
I think you need to
Good observation.
understand that.
Okay. All right, Douglas, as we're looking at the time, we have about 2 minutes to go. Is there anything you want to show? Is there any new plans going into the season? The coming season, as I know, school is reopening in September, so we are going to have to look forward. So these games will finish prematurely, right? Or you are planning any continuation regardless? It's finishing prematurely. So is there any plan going forward? And is there any shout out you'd like to give to coaches, viewing, players who might be watching the stream before you go, to let them know some encouraging words?
Yes. For the youngsters, keep working on your game. Find time to put up the shots, work on your finishing moves and the like, and your decision making. Watch video, watch the grades. Coaches, take time to do some planning, some reading. All right, contemplate how you can improve your coaches association. The vehicle on Facebook is sitting there unused. It's there. You need to make use of it. Coaches need to cooperate if they're going to make this game better. I think right there is one of the areas we need to focus on. The other, our organizations need to become more open. They need to invite people in to have their say. And like parents, like teachers, we need to invite those folks in. So and try and get rid of this between academics and sports. They're not opposing forces. All right,
they're working together.
Their sister brother forces included the mind, the body, the spirit. And when those are all developed, we'll have a beautiful thing.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Mr. Reid, Douglas Reid. You said Mr. Reid sound too formal, but in the seat that you see. Okay, we're so happy that you could join us today. It's a privilege.
And we'll have to have you back, because there's a lot of questions being posted, but we want to speak to Mr. Lemmy also, we don't have enough time, so that's why. But I'm seeing a bunch of questions here being asked by a lot of people and ideas being posted. So
there's a
lot. We might have to get you back. We might have to get you back on stream. Hope it's not a problem and we're not disturbing anything, and you're good with that.
No, you're not. It's been a welcome. Okay. It's been a welcome break, guys. Thank you.
All right, that was Mr. Douglas Reid, the Southern Conference coordinator for ISSA basketball. He was live giving us his ideas, giving us his views on certain things, and we really do appreciate it. I heard him mention about approaching NHT to deal with some funding regarding courts. He also mentioned about entertainment, infrastructures need to be developed. So he pointed out a lot of good points. What do you think about them, Barnes? What's your view, Barnes?
I think the NHT point we make is great, But as I say, at the same time, some schools they not think about basketball, but the coaches need to go out there and put it to the principals. I think so. That's a good point of getting that.
Well, I saw this is another post by one of the fans. Could we have a workshop for principals to hear some of these suggestions? Or we could get a merit system to allow students take part to build up the official and management.
I think it can happen, but at this time now, dealing with this pandemic, this COVID, the announcement yesterday by the minister that school will be out until September. Physical school, virtual schools will be the new thing now. But no, I think we'd have to give them some time to organize, and then we can get them maybe in the summer, and we can discuss with the principals about these ideas. But for now, I think it will be pushing it a little bit. What do you think, Mr. Wells?
I have no input on this one. I was reading the comments. I'm sorry.
Okay.
There's a lot of questions going over here. So.
All right. So now we have
Steve
Lamey from Jaba, the admin assistant. Been around basketball for so long, and it's just a good thing to have Lamey here. A lot of knowledge on what's going on, and a lot of questions. Welcome, Lamey.
Happy to be here.
Happy to be here.
Big up.
Flavor.
All right, then. All right.
Steve. So Steve, I have a question for you. As a coach, because
yes.
So I know Jaba need help. Otherwise, like from like people outside, but people make suggestions to Jaba and Jaba turn a blind eye. Because for one, I can speak for myself. We don't talk about the going to community our schools to promote basketball, and Jaba involved with NBL. In fact, get some of these NBL team and players to go in the schools and promote basketball. I don't know why they don't stop. So I don't know.
Big up yourself, Brian.
I think they had that back in the day. Right now, the teams don't seem to be pushing that. The suggestion is good because I remember when NBL was fully funded by Flow, they had something where the team members went to schools and they had workshops and things like that. But right now, I don't think that the NBL is funded enough for teams to be going out like that. Okay. I'm not sure if some teams take it upon themselves to do it, but Jaba is not actually forcing an issue where they're asking teams to do it right now.
Okay. All right, Steve. Sometimes I'm in the basketball fraternity in the sense that I know what is going on. Sometimes fans might come down hard on Jaba. Fans might have more negative to say than positive, which we don't encourage fully. So right now I'm giving you the platform now to identify or to let us know about some of the plans Jaba have going forward with the basketball for development. So is there any plan in the pipeline that you like to highlight to our fans and viewers and let them know?
All right. Jaba has been doing a lot of mini basketball programs, but it is geared towards the rural areas. I think Mr. Reid and you would have some idea about that. We have trained a lot of coaches in dealing with mini basketball, and we have given them the go ahead to attack some many primary schools because we want to start basketball at an earlier age. So we want them to attack the primary schools, and they have mini camps and things like that. So basketball will look better in the ISSA, in the secondary school, going on to the colleges.
All right. Just to add to that, because as you know, I'm also the mini basketball commissioner. I can give merit to what you have just said about workshop is being done and little mini basketball camps are being done around Jamaica. However, what I have a problem with, and I will state it now publicly, I find out that persons in the basketball fraternity, persons who are even coaches for the NBL teams, they assist primary schools, they assist preparatory schools. And when these workshops is being called or being asked for participation, these same coaches don't turn up with their team to these camps. They don't give it any form of, what I will say now, they don't help in the development. However, they'll be the first one to say that Jaba not doing this, Jaba not doing that. So why I'm stating that is to say that it's a collective effort. You cannot say that you want basketball to build and you're only looking at one aspect or looking at one institution to uplift the sport, because this sport is bigger than everyone right here. It's a worldwide thing.
You have to understand that. And being new to Jaba, I get a lot of backlash for things that have been done in the past. And Jaba is being blamed for a lot of things that Jaba doesn't even know about. I mean, something goes wrong in basketball, it's Jaba's fault. And I mean, I've been around basketball a lot. I mean, I've been in many circles, and sometimes I hear people say Jaba should do this, and really it's not a Jaba thing, you know, it's a everybody thing. And if it's understood that Jaba runs basketball in Jamaica, but Jaba in itself does not play basketball. We get an opportunity for everybody to play basketball.
I agree
And
with
if
you on that, Lemmy. I agree with you on that.
and if and if and
Everybody
if,
just
and if,
they
and if
blame
you
Jabba for
yeah
everything, and I can
And
and I know where you have players where don't show up at games, and I always say so. If you don't have a crowd, if you don't have fans, then you won't get sponsorship. You won't get TV time because there's nobody there. You understand? And if the community, basketball community, don't come out and show support for the sport, how you expect other people to come and show support? You understand? I agree with you. We can't always just blame Jabba. We have to blame everybody in the fraternity, from
yeah
players to coach.
all right, as been saying that, and Mr. Wells just mentioned about um the getting fans. Would Jabba consider, this is just a suggestion to you. As you know, NBA, you normally find this top player that NBA really push and market. I realize in Jamaica we don't travel that route. We don't market a player to be like the face, or maybe, as with our terms, the so-called goat of the game, or the best player, so that young fans will have someone to look up to. For example, that's how NBA to me take off when Jordan became that face. Jordan became that person. That person's want to watch. Who is Jabba taking that route to market that avenue?
Personally, Jabba doesn't even have a marketing team.
I was
Oh,
Um,
oh, yes.
so
what
the
are we
idea,
doing? What are the plans to get in our marketing team? There's a lot of people who are a bit savvy, you know. You have Simon, who is the coach at Meadowbrook. You have Ilton, who is another marketing genius. You have even the interview squad. So what's going on with that?
again, the issue came up earlier when they said people want incentive to do work. It takes cash to care, and I don't have to go any further by that.
Yes. Yeah, but
Steve,
Yeah,
Steve,
man.
yeah,
it's
yes,
not
boss.
everybody want money. Some people who love the sport and willing to see the sport move on from where it is right now. So yeah, I think you can. I think you can.
All right. Barnes is having
Uh,
some
Give them
audio
each
issues.
and see what gonna happen.
okay, okay. Um,
You hear me good now,
yes.
Mr. Wells?
Yeah,
Yes.
repeat the question. I didn't hear.
You said
Repeat
that
the
it's not
question, man.
everybody.
Yeah, I'm asking you. I'm saying to you still, if it's not everybody in the industry or in loving basketball want incentives like money wise for get to make the basketball move. People still looking forward for basketball grow in Jamaica. So you can invite them, get and hear what they have to say and see what's gonna happen. So money is not everything for everybody. People want to see the basketball grow. So don't say want the money. Yeah, address anybody about it and then hear them feedback.
Mhm.
Um, we have, well, me personally, I've contacted a lot of persons in terms of trying to get media coverage for even the NBA, but it hasn't been fruitful. It's a time factor. You know, NBA plays on certain times when people have other things to be doing. We can't even get a full stadium more time watching an NBA game. Certain
But to interject, you said you couldn't get a full stadium. You believe that is really because lack of promotion? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, because Jabba doesn't really know have the funding to market basketball where a game can be put on prime time. So we barely can even get stats out there unless
Mm,
it's done properly.
okay.
So we have a lot. We have room. You can say we have room to grow. I
Yes.
mean, we have a lot of people coming to us now. I mean, the interview crew, you mentioned a few names, Mr. Simon, but sometimes these people time conflict with our time, and
Okay.
we're the ones that are asking favors, so we have to wait on them to come through.
All right,
Um, uh,
here we have a question for you right here from one of the subscribers. Maybe you can give them a quick
Mini
answer.
basketball camp, what age group we're talking about? We're talking from 6 up. We want them to start bounce the ball that early, from 6 up. And when we talk about mini basketball, we're not talk when we engage these coaches, we want to let them know it's just not like the normal basketball where you have them play with the big ball. We have size ball for the kids. The hoop should be lower. The game must be geared around fun and less about tactical approaches because that's where you really get the true love for the sport and that's when you find out persons who engage more. So as early as age 6, they should be bouncing the ball, having fun. And let me just emphasize that part. You are supposed to have fun in mini basketball. Some coaches sometimes I hear that deal with kids, not only in basketball, football, track and field, they are very aggressive because they are trying to bring forth that winning thing and taking away the fun from whatever is going on. Usain Bolt said it, we can use it to relate to any sports. Usain Bolt said that when he was at primary school, winning was not a big thing to him. He just wanted to be a part of something, to socialize, to have fun. And you can see what that bring him. That bring that love for the sport. And you know the end because retired age 30 with a fat bank account. Who would want that for their kids? So it's all about building, getting the kids at an early age to enjoy the sports and continue. Um, Before we go any further, one question to Steve. I know this. We still have to say it and ask it. NBL is. Can we consider that over for this season, as in it is going to over prematurely, or there are still plans that when this pandemic is over, you are going to continue? What is the plan going forward?
I personally cannot speak on the future of the NBL without the president even giving us any word.
Okay.
But I think the pause has brought across a lot of conversations, and I know the president has been in conversations with a lot of people in terms of garnering funds for the next NBL to be a better NBL, and that's what we really want. So we can look forward to a better NBL 2021.
Classify better for me. When you say the
Um,
word better, what are you looking to be improved?
well, what people want is increased amount of games. We have
Yes.
engaged the referees, and we have asked them to up their game. So we are gonna have better officiating. Venue was a factor this season. We're gonna improve the venue so that the fixtures doesn't have to be changed 500 times. A lot of other things that we have been in conversation with people so that we can better the product that we are trying to give across.
Okay.
All right,
Cool. Very.
Steve, we have another question here for you. I think you're best suited to answer this one.
Yeah, we do have a website. The website is in its makeup stages right now. We are working with the Jamaica Olympic Association in mapping and putting data on our website. Um, I think the website we are just in the stages of we were putting on NBL activity on the website, but due to the pause, that has been stopped. But we have a website. I will get the URL and try and send it out to one of you guys shortly.
All right. Question,
Steve.
Steve. The we see over the internet, we see a lot of things going viral where you have your virtual skills training. Is Jaba thinking about going that way to engage basketballers during this down period?
I can't say to that personally. Um,
Would
Jaba,
you would you encourage it?
I certainly would encourage it. Um, Me personally, as a coach, I try to send clips to some of my players them and tell them to do this workout. because I mean, a pause doesn't mean that you stop working. Barnes said something yesterday that we don't have the facility to train at 10. But if we get that facility, we would be able to train at 10. So we can do our best at whatever we can right now, so that when we do up our game, we can match whatever we're trying to have.
Steve.
Yeah.
All right. You start mention about database and you use the link with Olympic Association. But as we just said, you need to pitch out to other persons. You have persons in basketball who have the knowledge. So you guys need to go and pitch that point to them and get them on the team. I can build up a management team just like that too. And for instance, with stats, no one can't type in a name and get a stats from an NBA
Jamaica.
player.
Yeah, overall.
Yeah, I think that's a sad thing. But even recently, someone was doing a paper, and they came to the office and wanted some stats on past NBL games, and it was difficult to even find them.
There's no
I think
database.
there's no database where you can say we can go back at the NBL from probably 2005 and say, yo, Barnes play X game, I will see how much points he scored. We can't find that. But what ISSA know, ISSA makes the IDs for the sport, so they can easily create a database with using the IDs. They can engage us in conversation, and we can see how best we can do that, because our score sheets, all of those things come to the office. We use them in our facilitating of the referee payment. So we do use the score sheets in somewhere or not.
All right, Steve, we have another question from one of the subs. What would you say is the biggest issue with female basketball in Jamaica?
Female basketball isn't getting any funding.
That's it. How is the talent wise? Like, is
Hello?
We have good talented females in Jamaica. I don't know if some of these people know that a few of our girls actually got scholarship and went away this year. Tai, treasure from Holy Childhood, she was one of our top girls. She got a scholarship and went away. And Tenant from St. Andrews girls, she got a scholarship also. And a lot of other persons are working with girls to get them scholarships. The National Female Program has been on pause. We're trying to start it up back. The female coordinator was going to start a female NBL version, but due to the pandemic, that was been on pause too. So, as I said, going forward,
if we may ask, because we have viewers are tuning in, who is the female coordinator? Because these are information I need to get out.
I don't remember her name right now, but
okay.
But she's a member of the JABBA team.
She's a member of the JABBA team. Okay. I see there's a question from Colleen Natty.
very good question.
About the short notice of events. Can the association improve on this so that the proper marketing can be done and fans get earlier notice?
Like a proper
I think that go back down to marketing and promotion.
No,
So
and you need a calendar. We need to coordinate with all of the bodies, from high school to college to D1 to Division 1. So there's no clash. So proper planning.
All right, but Willard and Steve, I realize that these are things. This is a question I constantly ask, and and Jaba is getting a beating on this promotion. So, as you know, we go to school not to just to know the problem, but also to get a solution. I'm going to give an advice. I don't know if you can take this back to persons and let them know. What about engaging these colleges that have this community service that the kids have to do X amount of hours, and try to get some of those college students to volunteer their time at the JABBA office and putting these data in place and assisting in that area? Could that intervention take place?
Believe it or not, we had one college student from UTEC who had just came in to do some hours, But as I said, due to the pandemic, it was cut short. But we're making steps. As I said, we're making steps in making basketball better. I mean, it's baby steps. They won't see the fruits right now. But as I said, going forward, we will be at a level where we can say we're proud of the product that we're producing. Um, I will always say it takes cash to care because a lot of time mobilization is take funding and we can't move without money. So that's another thing we have to be contemplating.
That's a
There's
good
a
question.
question from Matthew Campbell. I
Yeah.
don't know if you can see it, Lamy. You can see it. Is there a
You
place
see,
where fans can donate to Jaba to get certain projects done to get funds
fun
for
for care.
care?
Uh, well, well, we'll have a talk to the president to say we can set up a GoFundMe account or something like that.
Oh, so there's none currently.
Maybe there
there's
is. I'm not sure. There because Colleen Natty said the association has means to collect donation, and it's always welcome. So you can contact the VP.
Development
Okay.
for more details. And you see, that's the next thing. I'm really passionate about this because, like, for example, Mr. Wells, we always talk about basketball being a secret. So you see, these things are things the public need to know, need to be at forefront, because we cannot complain that nobody is assisting when there's nothing put in place for them to assist. You get what I'm saying? So we can't complain to say that we are not getting any donation and then how to donate is a secret. So I think
Colleen,
we need to do.
sorry, because we're
Yes.
soon short of time.
Yes.
Colleen, our question there.
What do you partner with the association to improve the coverage?
I think we've been
We
doing
have
that.
been saying that. We've been saying that. We have conversation. We have conversation with persons and say that we're willing to come on board, and because we are for the development, and not to say that we don't care about funds, but we are always generous and we are always willing. So wherever it meet, we'll break and we do it for the love for the sports. And I think I speak for the entire team when I'm saying that we are always willing to assist.
The thing is, Colleen, we've done that. We've done this for free, but I've witnessed where when Jabba decided to actually pay someone to come to the games and bring a little entertainment value other than basketball, they did not contact us. They went and pay someone who has not been given this service for free. So that's kind of a slap in the face,
Yes, relationship. We have to ensure that we keep positive relationship going forward. And when you're doing any form of business, because persons return to your store not for the price, but for the customer service.
That's true.
Right? All right. So, Steve, anything you need to say or any plans going forward that you want the viewers to know about and how they can help and assist basketball? Give a shout out.
Well, basketball can't grow without promotion. I think each person is their own promotion team. I mean, we can advertise basketball on our status on our Facebook page, Instagram, so that people don't say basketball is a secret. We can all do our own personal promotion. We, as Miss Colleen said, Mr. Natty is the VP in charge of development. So, any questions in terms of organizing funding, I think that you can contact Mr. Marlon Natty. He's the person in charge of that. So, but going forward, as I said, we're gonna have a better product in 2021, given all despite all the setbacks.
Okay. All right. You hear from Steve Lamy, the assistant admin for Jabba. We're glad that he's here with us to share his views and to let us know, give us some information on where they are looking to improve and develop basketball in Jamaica. So we appreciate this talk with Steve Lamy. Bonds, Wells, as we always say, we are willing to help. So in any way we can assist Jabba in promotion, we are phone call away. I think our numbers are everywhere. If you do have Mr. Wells' number, you have Mr. Reid number, you have Mr. Reid, you have Mr. Barnes' number. So we are easy to get to. So
we'll probably have to have an interview with Colleen, because Shaz, boy, I tell you, there's a lot of questions.
to come along and engage.
I think Joe Mamba have a lot of things to settle, so we probably have to go have an interview with this person. I'm not sure who he is, but he's been posting a lot of questions and an event, and we need to hear what he must say. Like, we have to give him an interview. All right.
So big up Mr. Lamy for passing through.
Yeah, big up yourself. Thanks to everybody. Mr. Reid. Everybody who post them questions and stuff. I love this. Big up Rose from Mobiato. Yes, they've been from the interview squad. Big up Rose.
Before we go any further, Willie, tomorrow we start at 1 also. We are going to have some young talent coming on set. I think you need to see the future basketball. So we have made some contact. We're going to have some players, some young, I'm telling you, they're extremely good, and these are faces and names you need to know going forward in Jamaica basketball. That's tomorrow at 1. We also have an overseas player joining us. Stay tuned and just check in tomorrow. Daytime interviews. It's a good look. Barnes, what do you have to say to the viewers there?
Them coming in frequently, so and ideas are good. So everybody, please send in ideas. Help Jaba, help basketball in Jamaica, so we can move forward from this.
Willie.
Thanks for joining us.
All right then. Peace out. I will contact Colleen. I think I can make contact with her and see if she will join us on Thursday. So Colleen, expect that shout out. Yes, Mark.
We need to contact the president.
Yes,
need.
Carlton. All right then. We have time. We have I personally have up to September because currently I'm just working from home. They say I'm not essential. I have to stay at home, so I'm good to go. All right. So big up Jamaica Basketball Project. It's on at night time. Very good. Tune in, and check them out.
All right.
Ruben Turner
and Umar. We're gonna talk to you too, and everybody. Would I love for you to check out Jamaica Basketball Project with Rick Turner. He's the man right now. You know, the Jamaica national coach and coordinator, right?
Yeah. So we also post the link on our page, so you can just click on it and make contact. We're out.
All right.